Hey, what is up? Welcome to my Nintendo Switch review. Whew, it's been a crazy week. I pretty much put it through the ringer. The Switch has been my buddy with me for the past almost a week now since the launch on the 3rd. I wanted to do that because I knew that I was going to be doing a lot of talking and I was going to review the system and I wanted a lot to say and I want to make sure that like I said, I put it through the ringer. We tried every different mode. I tried a whole mess of games. I really turned the thing inside out, basically. So here we go. So you could think of this as a review. You could think of this as an impressions, opinions, thoughts. I don't know, whatever you want to call it. This is a Nintendo system, so I know how the diehards are. All right? This really isn't for you. Listen, I mean, it could be for anybody. Anybody could benefit from this video, but if you're a diehard, you were already in line for hours at midnight on the 2nd trying to buy this damn thing. Pre-ordered it. You already own it. I'm talking to the people the casual gamer, the people that, haven't bought a game system in a while or thinking about the Switch or on the fence, or maybe, you skipped the Wii U entirely. Maybe you had the Wii, but you never bought the Wii U. This is definitely for you. And hopefully you can come up with your own opinion and thought and decision after watching this video. But I'm going to try to guide you as best I can. Again, coming from me, what I think, my opinion, And that's really the best way to take these reviews, face value. So, I did a lot with the Switch. I tried out pretty much every mode. And I did a lot on the TV. I did a lot in handheld mode. I did a lot with co-op, with friends, family. We checked the eShop out. I checked the UI out. So let's start from the beginning. All right? First of all, let's start with the build quality. The build quality is amazing. I expect nothing less from Nintendo, but I was actually super surprised with this. I mean, even when I first saw the Wii U gamepad, I was like, what is this? But this is a freaking nice piece of hardware. This tablet is rock solid. It's very sturdy. The screen is absolutely gorgeous. In handheld mode, the games look nice and sharp. They look nice and crisp. I haven't noticed anything wrong with the screen. Playing Zelda Breath of the Wild looked really good. Looked really smooth, ran well. I mean, these are like console games in your hand as opposed to games being made portable as far as like the Vita and the 3DS. These games looked really good playing them handheld, and I played them first on the television, and I had absolutely no problems. There was a few frame rate issues. There was a few little jaggies, a few little slowdowns, but nothing to cry home about. Nothing that impacted or stopped my gameplay or forced me not to play it. I actually was very impressed with how it looked on the TV and how it played. I did a lot of Breath of the Wild. I did a lot of Fast RMX, which is a really fast racing game. I played a lot of Bomberman. I Am Setsuna. And they looked absolutely great in handheld mode. I had zero problems. So, one thing about Nintendo, and I tell this, I always stress this to people, and I know what their comeback is, and I'll say it right here, and I can understand where they're coming from 100%. I'm not a fanboy. I've been with Nintendo my whole life, but I've also been with Sony, PlayStation. I own everything. We cover everything on here, even PC, 3DO, PC CDI, Turbo Graphics, whatever you want, I got on here. So I pretty much have a rounded experience with all the systems, and I can compare them. And Nintendo always really did its own thing. They never really were the kind of company, a lot of times when PS4 and Xbox One go at it, their specs, who's got the better specs, who's got the GDR, who's got the faster RAM, who's got the faster motherboard. Nintendo really didn't care anything about it. They never did. As long as their games run and look good on their system, that's all they care about. As long as you play Zelda and you say, wow, that was great, that's Nintendo just does their own thing. Now, a lot of people counter me when I say that, because I said that about the Wii U, and they say, yeah, but that's what the problem is with third party. Well, listen, there's a lot on board for the Switch. Let me tell you, there's a lot in development, including indies. And you know what? They have to optimize for it. There's no excuse. I've seen third-party games that did come out on the Wii U and they were fine because they're optimized. You don't optimize them in the way that you would a PS4 or an Xbox One. So okay, so the graphics are going to be toned down a little bit to keep up with the frame rate. Believe you me, I know like Bethesda's really on with the Switch. So I know Todd Howard is over there at Bethesda really I mean, we're going to know when we see how Skyrim is on the Switch. Could you imagine Skyrim? Just the thought of it. Skyrim in the palm of your hand as a portable game. That's going to be incredible. So I think, the more third party does it, I think other third parties will be on board and be like, we could make our game for the Switch. We could do that. But I mean, Nintendo first party games, oh, forget about it. They're going to be phenomenal. I know Mario Odyssey is probably going to be nothing but a masterpiece when it comes out. I'm almost positive. And I'm really looking forward to that game. I'm looking forward to Splatoon 2. So, as opposed to the Wii U, it looks like it's going to have a really good future. I noticed the sales are way up. I'm going to tell you something right now. Before I get to anything else, here's what I think the Switch has over the Wii U. Because everybody says, oh, it's the same as the Wii U. It's going to be worse than the Wii U. It had the most horrible launch lineup in history. I'm going to get to that. That's the big elephant in the room, is the launch lineup. Okay, this is what's coming out. This is what's in the future, okay, but what about now? What about when I go and buy the damn thing? What is there to play other than Zelda, right? Okay, I got you. I'll get to that. But let me tell you an advantage that I think that the Switch has over the Wii U. A big advantage. I'll tell you how I came across it. If they call it double dipping, say if you have a game, right? You love the game, and you buy it multiple times. Like, oh my God, they're going to get me again, like Skyrim. I bought Skyrim on the PC. I bought Skyrim on the 360. And guess what? I wound up buying the new remastered version on the Xbox One. But guess what? I'm probably going to wind up buying it again on the Switch. But do you know why? Not just because it's Skyrim. I'll give you an example. There's a game called Steep. It's a snowboarding game. I really loved the game. I bought the game for the PlayStation 4, and I love it. I'm probably going to buy it again. You know why? Because it's handheld mode. Because I'm going to have that version portable where I could take anywhere with me. Whereas the PS4 and the Xbox One, I can't. Whereas the Wii U, you can't. You could stream it, you could view it on your Wii U gamepad, but try going back down the hall or outside with that damn thing and it loses signal. No, this is full HD. So when I see these other ports coming back or these remasters on Switch, the first thing I say to myself is, I could have that in portable mode. I could have that on the bus. I could have that in the back of the car. I could have that on my way to, whatever, work or on my break or whatever. I could play it downstairs in bed when I'm too tired to be on the TV at night. Seamlessly, just take it out of the dock. Bring it downstairs with me in bed, bring it back upstairs, put it back in the dock. I'm good to go. It's seamless, it's fast. That's why the Switch has an advantage, is portability, handheld mode. Look how successful the 3DS was. So now you're getting a home console experience in handheld, but you're also getting it, on the go, on the fly, back at home again, on the Switch, in the docking station, which also works seamlessly fantastic. There's like a second delay. You're playing the portable, you're playing the tablet, the Switch, shoop, goes right into the dock, boom, it's on your TV. People are like, they're so impressed. They're like, what? I'll pause like Fast RMX going around a corner. I'll pause it, take it out of the dock, boom, right back to where I left off. Coming down a ramp, pause it, boom, back on the TV, back where I left off. There's nothing missed. It's seamless, it's fast. And I think that the Switch has a lot going for it. I really do, that the Wii U couldn't. And I noticed all the features that they announced that this thing had, people are actually using. That's a good thing. That means they're taking advantage of what was advertised for it. I put the kickstand up. I play tabletop mode, where two people can hold a Joy-Con. They play the game together. Awesome. You put the kickstand back in, you put in handheld mode, you play your favorite games, you put it on the TV mode, handheld mode, tabletop mode. All work great in my opinion. I've tested them, I've tried them. The only two things that I know people were complaining about was the durability of the kickstand. I haven't really had a problem with it. As long as you have a nice, hard, sturdy surface. And the game cartridge, where you put the cartridge in the door. just got to be careful. I mean, I'm not gonna, they're on the video going like this, pulling the damn thing like a Hercules. Of course, it's gonna break. You just got to be careful. You got to treat your stuff with respect, and then this stuff will, treat you with respect, by lasting. But I don't really see a problem with that. The battery was one of the cons that I had. I mean, I don't know how they're gonna, maybe that's a software issue. It's most likely probably a hardware issue, but who knows? They could come out with a software update or firmware update that, takes a little bit less stress off the battery. But I've gotten around 2.5 to 3 hours consistently, which, isn't terrible, but you're not going to go on a day trip with it. So there's that. And that's pretty much it with the battery. Now, let's just go back real quick to the launch lineup, all right? The launch lineup, really, on paper, it looks horrible. On paper. But I'm going to tell you something. First of all, the games are actually all good. Quality over quantity. All right, first of all, The Legend of Zelda. Okay, let's get that out of the way. 10 out of 10, a masterpiece. What launch lineups do you remember that actually had masterpieces? I'm talking game of the year, game of the decade. This game is no joke. They have a launch release that is amazing. Yeah, it's on the Wii U, but guess what? It's on the Switch, and I could take Breath of the Wild anywhere I want to go. I could take it in the car. It's awesome. It's a masterpiece, okay? You can have your 10 launch lineups that all suck. I'd rather have my one that's a masterpiece, okay? All right? What about people that complained about Knack? What about people that complained about Killzone? What about people that complained about Rise, Son of Rome? What about people that complained about, a crappy Madden game? Whatever. I think Nintendo's launch was not bad at all. Fast RMX, love the game. Absolutely amazing game. They're not AAA, first party games that pop at you like Kirby or Mario or Donkey Kong. But these games, if you give them a chance, they're excellent. Are they blown out of the park great? No. Other than Zelda. But I mean, Fast RMX, 7.5, 8 out of 10. Good game. Good, nice to have a racing game at launch. Snipper Clips, a freaking amazing fun game. Especially with co-op with a friend. That game is incredible. That game is fun. And Nintendo is about fun, not about graphics, not about a powerhouse machine, about having fun. And guess what, guys? That's what the Switch does. I Am Setsuna is an amazing, underrated game. It's great on the Switch. Shovel Knight, come on, guys. You said it yourself. It's the most amazing indie game you've ever seen in your life. It's a 10 out of 10. It's a masterpiece. Shovel Knight. It was a big thing when it came out. Well, guess what? You got Shovel Knight on Switch and you got Spectre of Torment. An amazing, amazing expansion. It looks great on the Switch. Looks great in handheld mode. Just Dance, a fun party game. 1-2 Switch. Another party game. That's all. It's just a demo of what the Switch can do. It's not for hardcore gamers to spend hours on it a day. You play it for a while. You wait for friends to come over. But then again, Switch, Wii U, and Wii and all that, that's always what they've been about. So I think it's not as bad as people are saying. As a matter of fact, I think you should take the time and really enjoy these games. And by not having a huge launch lineup, you can take the time and not rush Zelda. And you can take the time and check out these little games on the eShop. And Super Bomberman R. That game, the price is one thing, right? That's one of the faults. I think the games are highly priced. Not Zelda, but 1-2 Switch and some of the eShop games. And, well, the eShop games aren't too bad. But especially Super Bomberman R, that was the elephant in the room. $50? No, not $50, but definitely cheaper. But it's good. It's not taken away from the game. The game is good, just not $50. If you're a diehard Bomberman fan, you already own it. And it's great to play it in handheld mode. And I actually was doing tabletop mode with a friend the other day, and we were having a blast. Again, it's all about fun. Okay? So, you got a lot of games looking forward to. There's a lot of games coming out. I know Reggie Fils-Aimé said that they're going to try not to have these giant gaps like the Wii U did. So, let's see. Hopefully, there'll be a lot of indies in development that will, fill the gaps. But I think it's going to be good. And I think it'll hold us over for the big releases, like Splatoon 2. We got Mario Kart. They're going to probably announce Smash Brothers. We're going to have Mario Odyssey. in the holiday. And I'm sure there's going to be a lot, NBA 2K and whatnot, and Skyrim. I heard there's a rumor that there's a Dark Souls collection. That's incredible. Like I said, you don't mind double dipping. You don't mind buying the games again just because the fact that you're going to have them in portability mode and in handheld mode. I think that's the advantage of the Switch. I really do when it comes down to it. I really, really do. And I think as long as the library can be good and keep up and they get maybe streaming services, YouTube, maybe Amazon Prime, maybe Netflix, this thing's going to rock. I mean, they can make this thing really, really good if they want to. Another thing that two people were asking me about was the operating system. Hey, listen, it's simple, it's simplistic, it's clean, it's fast, and it works. I don't have 100 things that are on screen that I don't need. It just has what I need. And you know what? I like the operating system. It could use some improvements. I'm sure that's going to come along the way. The operating system, the UI, the user interface, is fine for me. I don't have one problem with that user interface. I've said it multiple times on stream, and I said it on Twitter. I think the user interface is actually really good. It's snappy, it's fast, and it's usable. So we'll see what the new updates bring. I'm sure they're gonna have more backgrounds and themes, and more features, and video and streaming, hopefully, and more apps, and maybe Twitter and Facebook. But who knows? The thing's gonna be like a damn tablet. I mean, it could be incredible. It really could. And those are just software updates. But as long as the game lineup is good, and hey, listen, Nintendo needs to have a good E3. I think that people won't even remember the launch, the horrible launch. They won't even remember that. They're going to know that this damn thing has a serious lineup, and I think E3 is their time to shine. I know I say this every year, but Nintendo, listen to me. I don't care if it's a direct or a presentation. Bring it. Don't hold back. I think they were holding back in the presentation because of E3. Well, guess what? Bring it. People want to know. Now they can own this system, or they're thinking about buying it. Convince them, Convince them to go out and buy it. The Joy-Con controllers, I don't have a problem with them. I think they're really cool. I think they feel nice and grippy and tactile. The HD Rumble is really cool on them when you're playing games like 1-2 Switch. It feels really nice. I think they feel good in the hand. Yeah, there's no D-pad, but there's the Pro Controller, and I know it's awfully expensive. Again, pricing, they got to work on that. $70 or whatever it is, it's expensive. But the Pro Controller is really nice. The D-pad is really nice. The buttons are nice and big and spaced out. But if you're strapped and you can just get the base system right now with the Joy-Cons, I don't think you're going to have a problem. I put them in the controller grip for Breath of the Wild, and I didn't have a problem. I wasn't playing, and I was like, oh man, I wish I had the Pro Controller. Maybe that'll change when you play certain other kinds of games, especially like fighting games, or especially like when Street Fighter Ultra 2 comes out. You're gonna be like, oh man, I wish I had that D-pad. But I think until then, I think you'll be fine with the Joy-Con controllers. There's a lot of tech in them. I mean, there's a lot of tech in those two little pieces of hardware. There really is. There's a lot. With the NFC reader, the HD Rumble, the camera, the sensor, the sensitivity sensor, and the IR whatever. It's pretty incredible if you think about it. I was looking at the specs on those damn things. It's pretty interesting. They're neat. They're really neat. But yeah, I mean, if it comes down, should you buy the Switch now? I would be foolish to tell you run out and buy it right now. It's a must. Of course not. If you don't have a Wii U, well, then I'd have to say, you know what? Just because of Breath of the Wild, maybe you should. Because that game's a fucking masterpiece. But if you have the Wii U and and you don't have disposable amounts of income, and you're not, and you want a budget and you're watching yourself, or you'd rather spend the money on these new big releases coming out, then I would say, yeah, definitely. I'm not going to tell you to go out and buy a Switch. No. Do I love the Switch? Yes. Do I regret buying it? Absolutely not. Would I buy it again? Yes. Should you buy it? Yes. But do you need to buy it? No. No, I would wait. At least maybe till the spring or summer, or maybe at least wait till Splatoon 2 comes out, or maybe even Mario Kart, or at least wait and see what games are coming out. There's also some great indies coming out, like Stardew Valley, Overcooked. You're going to have a blast with those games on the Switch, especially in handheld mode. That's going to be a blast. That Blaster Master Zero's coming out. These are incredible indie games. Minecraft is supposed to be coming out for it. That's going to be insane. So it's definitely not a must-buy. Of course not. No system really is. But I definitely love this system, and I think it's leading to be one of my favorite Nintendo systems. From a 1 to 10, I would say 8.5, closer to a 9. I'm loving my Switch. I have no regrets. People come over, buddies come over, and they're like, dude, this is freaking cool. I want one. I'm like, go ahead, when you can, when they're available. But it's definitely not, I have to leave my house right now and buy one. Of course not. I'm not going to tell you that. But if you got cash laying around and you want to just blow it, buy a Switch. I love mine, and I can't wait to cover it, and it's a big part of the channel now. I got ongoing playthroughs, I got reviews up, I got unboxings, setup videos, indie games, playthroughs, let's plays. The Switch is going to be a big part of my Rate NJ Away, and I'm glad that you guys are checking my coverage out, and I'm going to continue covering the Switch on here. All right? That's pretty much all I have to say, guys. You be your own judge, and you leave this up to you. I think it's a cool system. I just don't think you need to go out and get it. But again, if you skipped, the Wii U, and especially if you haven't bought a system in a while, and you're dying to play Breath of the Wild, definitely go out and get it. If you don't have, especially if you don't have a 3DS or a Vita, you definitely should own this. It's a great handheld to have, and you get 2-in-1. Like I said, with the docking station, you get a home console too. So I think you're good to go with that system. It's gonna pretty much cover everything. And man, let me tell you, if this has a great lineup and a great third-party support with it triple A's and indies and great first-party support, which it will. It's going to be a great system. I think it's going to really do good, and I'm positive for the Switch. I really am. I'm hyped and positive for the future of the Switch. Take care, and thank you for watching my video. Hope you enjoy it. Leave comments, do whatever, share it, and I'll see you on the next video. That's a go!